What is going on, my fellow Masketeers? Welcome back to another episode, and today we are talking about Marvel's She-Hulk episode 4. So let's get into what happened in the episode. So the episode starts off with a magician doing a show, and it ain't going too well for him. He's kind of bombing right now. No one's really feeling his mediocre magic, right? And so he asks for a volunteer to come up to the stage for his next trick. And it just so happens to be, when I saw her, this looked like a budget Scarlet Witch. She literally looked like if Wanda had grown up in the valley, and she even speaks like a valley girl and is just drunk constantly. During that little performance, in a fit of desperation because he's losing the crowd, he decides to go big. And what does he do? He pulls out a sling ring. And I'm thinking to myself, wait, how the hell did he get that? And for those of you that don't know, the sling ring is the thing that Wong and Doctor Strange and all of the practitioners of the mystic arts use to open portals to anywhere in the known and unknown universe. So he pulls that out, and somehow he's able to create a portal, and he sends Valley Girl Wanda through. The portal opens up, and she's in Wong's room, and Wong's wondering, like, how the heck did you get here, and what's going on? She tells him how she got here and how she had to trade 7 drops of her blood to a demon and sign a contract that she cannot discuss. That happens, and then now we cut back to She-Hulk, and She-Hulk is in her office doing her regular dues, and Wong pops up. He would like to file an injunction. That's right. Wong is trying to sue the magician. Oh, and by the way, the magician's name is Johnny Blaze. That's how he says it. That is a little Easter egg. Well, I thought it was an Easter egg to any Ghost Rider fans, because Johnny Blaze, I do believe, is the first Ghost Rider. I might be wrong, but I think I'm right. So he literally wants to sue him and say that he cannot practice the mystic arts, because Wong informs Jen that he was actually a potential candidate, but he got kicked out of Kamatar because he couldn't hack it. So I don't understand how, you can kick the people out, but then you don't check to see if they left behind the sling ring. Like, what's going on? They need to control that better, especially when Wong describes the potential dangers in what the sling ring can do. They need to up their security game. Like, this is just reckless behavior on their part. We do have in between where Jen is struggling with her dating life. She, as Jennifer Walters, can't get no love. She's on the dating app. She's swiping left, right, and center. She's doing the freaking GTA cheat code and getting no responses. None whatsoever. She got one response, and that date was a dud. He didn't even pay for his drinks. That's how bad it was. And her friend suggests that, you know what, why don't you try making a profile with She-Hulk? And in the beginning, she was hesitant. She didn't want to do it. She had too much pride. But when she was getting no love, boy, that's when she decided by any means necessary. And so she decides to make the She-Hulk profile. She does a couple of swipes, and Lord and behold, within a matter of seconds, her whole phone is blowing up. Everybody trying to get that snoo. And if anybody's a Futurama fan, you know exactly what the snoo's about. So she starts to go on dates as the She-Hulk, and just one after the other, they're duds. One of them, I can't even lie to you, had the makings of a serial killer, because the way he was talking, he was really trying to have her chained in a basement somewhere. And not that nice, kinky kind of chained up. I'm talking about experimenting on her body and finding out just how resilient and how much damage she can take, and potentially taking samples. So yeah, it was a mixed bag. It was a mixed bag for her, until she basically gets one date where the guy is a doctor, and he's all about, listen, it's not about me. I just want to hear about you. That's all it took, man. I saw the green in her eyes flare. She was like, yeah, that's cool. So what are you trying to do next? He was like, some fries or something. She was like, yo, let's get these fries to go, because I'm ready. She was out there at the table like, I want my eggs cracked. I want my last name dropped. She was all about it. They literally go back to hers, getting all comfortable. Then here comes old mood-killing Wong telling her that, I need your help, because this Johnny Blaze guy has opened up another portal using the ring, and he's let a whole bunch of demons through, so I need you. And so, yeah, she goes off to help Wong. They deal with that whole situation, and they come back, and, they pick up where they left off. And that's all I'm going to say about the episode. So you guys can go and watch it for yourself. Now, let me get into the good of this episode. The good of the episode, I will say, when Jen was in her dress. Now let me finish. Let me finish. Now, what I mean by that is that's when the CGI looked good. When they have She-Hulk in tight-fitting clothes, and again, it's not what it sounds like. I just mean when they don't have to animate so much fabric, she looks much better. She looked much better. Did she look great? Absolutely not. I need to find out the budget of this freaking show just to see like where this money has gone, because I feel like they did all the money on Hulk and then She-Hulk just got left on the wayside. When she's in clothes that don't require that much animation because the fabric doesn't have as many folds, Jen looked good. She looked good. That was the highlight for me, because watching those scenes, I was like, okay, this, if they keep this level, we can work with that. It's whenever it just dips, I'm just like, ooh, okay. The bad, when Jen is wearing her suits as She-Hulk, those suits, terrible, terrible, terrible CGI effects. She-Hulk looks terrible whenever she is wearing her work suit. The budget in this show is not consistent. I do not believe that these people, they shouldn't have released the show until they could have done a better job, because again, one of the things that has come out is the fact that Marvel does a lot of rush situations whenever it comes to the VFX of their movies, and like there's a very short turnaround and they make a lot of changes right before something comes out. And because of that, I feel it shows quite evident in this show that the consistency is very different within the same episode. Another thing, again, I was not the biggest fan of Wong being in this show because he makes no sense whatsoever. Makes no sense. He doesn't play any part. He's just a random filler. He's just a random filler. Let's get to the verdict. With this show, I don't even know the point of it. I've constantly said this, but really, I'm at that point where I don't even know what else to say. We're episode 4. I think there's 2 more episodes left. I hope it only has the 6 episodes. This thing is just pointless. I honestly don't understand the reasoning and why they made the show the way they made the show, to be honest with you. It plays no part. It does nothing for this phase. It's just a way to introduce Jennifer Walters, and it doesn't really even introduce her in a way which I feel is justifiable. I think the character is great, but how they've done it and how they've used her, it's kind of pointless. And another thing is, the way she breaks the 4th wall as well is very weird. With Wade, right, with Deadpool, he breaks the 4th wall, but he breaks the 4th wall of what he's currently observing. Whereas with Jen, she breaks the 4th wall, but she's seeing or she's commenting on things that she's not even there to comment on. She knows this is a show. She even knows the entire script of the show, which again is a bit weird, because like I said, for you to break the 4th wall is cool, but it's more effective when you're commenting on something that's actually happening and that you're observing, not where you're talking about things that you haven't observed and you couldn't know because you weren't there, but yet you still know. So yeah, that's like my little thing. I'll give it like a 4 out of 10. Yeah, I'll give it a 4 out of 10. With that, guys, those are my thoughts and my opinions. Thank you so much. Like always, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you at the next masquerade. Peace.